You open your eyes for the very first time, and the world smells of rosewater and blood. London, 1840. Your mother is weeping from exhaustion in a four-poster bed that costs more than most families earn in a year. A midwife wipes you clean with warmed linen. Your father pushes through the doorway, still in his riding coat, and looks at you the way a man looks at a ledger that didn't balance. A girl, the midwife says. Your father says nothing for a long time. Then, she'll need to marry well. You're 11 seconds old. Your dowry is already being calculated. Welcome to your life as a Victorian noblewoman. You're born to the Cavendish family, minor aristocracy with a country estate in Berkshire, a house in Mayfair, and a bloodline that goes back 4 generations of men who married well and died richer. Your father is a baron. Your mother is a baron's ornament. And you, third child, only daughter, are the most expensive bargaining chip either of them will ever produce. You didn't grow up. You were assembled. By 5, your mother appears at breakfast and bedtime. Your father appears at Christmas. The rest belongs to Miss Wren, your governess, your warden, your entire emotional universe. She teaches you posture by balancing books on your head and corrects your French with a look that could curdle cream. The first corset arrives at 10. Light stays, they call it. Training wheels for a lifetime of compression. Within 2 years, your ribs will start molding inward like soft clay on a potter's wheel. Doctors will later call this chlorosis, green sickness, and blame your pallor on female weakness rather than the steel cage redistributing your organs. Your best friend is Clara, the cook's daughter. She teaches you to knead bread, to whistle, to swear in Cockney. You teach her to read. One afternoon, your mother catches Clara sitting in your chair, holding your book. Clara's mother is dismissed by Thursday. You learn the lesson faster than any French conjugation. People below you are furniture. Furniture that smiles, serves, and vanishes when it becomes inconvenient. You cry about Clara for 3 days. Miss Wren tells you ladies don't form attachments with servants. You stop crying. You don't stop missing her. But you learn to miss people quietly, which is the most Victorian skill of all. The only constant is Agnes, your lady's maid, who arrives when you're 12 and never leaves. She laces your corset every morning, brushes your hair every night, and knows more about your body than you do. She's 22, plain, sharp, and earns 12 pounds a year. Every coin is hers. Remember that. At 17, they present you at court. Your corset is cinched to 19 inches. Your liver presses against your stomach. Every breath comes in half portions. The queen glances at you for roughly 4 seconds. Your mother has spent 11 years preparing you for those 4 seconds. Piano, watercolors, French, embroidery, nothing that would help you survive alone for a single afternoon, but everything that proves you'd never have to. You curtsy, the queen nods, and just like that, you're on the market. The rules are simple. A gentleman may send you exactly 4 types of gifts: books, flowers, confectionery, or sheet music. Anything else implies he's trying to buy your affection, which is technically your father's job. Lord Edmund Ashworth sends tulips first, then Chopin. He's 34, quiet, owns land in 3 counties, and opinions on none of them. He dances adequately and talks about drainage improvements with genuine passion. Your mother calls him a serious man. Your father calls him Selvin. You call him Lord Ashworth, because using his first name before engagement would cause a scandal roughly equivalent to arson. 6 months of chaperoned walks and letters inspected by your mother, you've had exactly 1 unchaperoned conversation. 12 minutes in a garden while your chaperone was distracted by a wasp. He told you about his dead sister. You told him about Clara. It's the most honest either of you has been with another person in years. He proposes through your father. Your father accepts. You're consulted last, which everyone agrees is a formality. The engagement is announced. You are now allowed to hold his hand in public. Progress. You're 18 when the wedding happens. It's beautiful. Everybody says so. What nobody mentions is that the moment the vicar finishes speaking, you legally cease to exist. Under coverture, the law of the land, your identity is absorbed into your husband's. Every penny you brought into this marriage, his. Your inheritance, his. The pearl earrings your mother gave you, legally his. You cannot sign a contract, write a will, or keep a single shilling without Edmund's permission. Agnes can leave her position, sign her own contracts, walk away whenever she wants. She owns more of herself than you do. The richest woman in the county is legally less free than the maid who buttons her dress. Edmund isn't cruel. That's the thing. He's decent, distracted, and mildly baffled by your unhappiness. He gives you the household to run, which is like giving someone the keys to a prison and calling it management. You organize dinners for men who make laws you can't vote on. You host charity bazaars for causes you can't legally fund. You smile, You pour tea. You are the most expensive decoration in every room you enter. And of course, they expect heirs. You're 20 when your first pregnancy ends in stillbirth at 7 months. The doctor, who came from another patient without washing his hands, because germ theory is still a decade away from being taken seriously, calls it God's will. You call it the worst night of your life. The servants change the sheets while you're still bleeding. At 22, your second pregnancy. You beg for chloroform. Queen Victoria used it for Prince Leopold's birth in 1853, and what's good enough for the Queen is good enough for you. The doctor resists. Some physicians still believe labor pain is divine punishment for Eve's sin. Agnes argues with the doctor on your behalf. Quietly, carefully, knowing her place even while overstepping it, he relents. The chloroform works. A boy, healthy. You name him William. Then another. Then another. Each pregnancy is a coin flip against puerperal fever, which kills indiscriminately. Rich or poor, clean house or workhouse. During the 1850s alone, roughly 31,000 women died in childbirth across England and Wales. You survive. You consider this luck rather than baseline expectation, which tells you everything about what century you're living in. Meanwhile, the nursery walls are painted Sheila's green, the most fashionable color in England, a bright emerald pigment made with copper and arsenic. In damp weather, the wallpaper releases arsenic gas that you and your children breathe every night. Babies have died in nurseries exactly like yours. Nobody connects the dots for another decade. When William develops a persistent cough, the doctor blames London air. You move into a different bedroom anyway. Instinct. By 30, the routine has calcified around you like plaster. Morning, correspondence and menus. Afternoon, social calls. 15 minutes each. Announced by calling card. Evening, dinner, conversation, performance. Repeat until dead. Your opinions on Parliament are sharp, informed. Better than half the men at Edmund's Club. The only channel for a woman's political influence is the right word at the right dinner to the right wife of the right MP. You are the hand that rocks the cradle, that shapes the man, that casts the vote, that changes the law, that still doesn't recognize you as a person. By 35, you develop headaches, insomnia, nervous complaints. The doctor prescribes laudanum, opium dissolved in alcohol, 25 drops for a penny. Available without prescription from any chemist in England. It tastes bitter and works instantly. The pain lifts, the edges soften, the green walls stop pressing in. Within 6 months, you can't sleep without it. Agnes notices. She sees the bottle refilled too often, your eyes glazing through afternoon calls, your hands trembling at breakfast before the first dose. She says nothing. In this house, silence is a survival skill they teach from both ends of the hierarchy. Your friend, Lady Pemberton, takes 4 ounces daily. Her doctor calls it medicine. Her husband calls it rest. Her servant calls it routine. Nobody calls it addiction because addiction is a word for the poor. Among gentlewomen, it's simply delicate health. You're 42 when Edmund dies. Riding accident, broken neck, dead before the groom reached him. You wear black for 2 years because that's what's required. You mourn for 6 months because that's what's honest. Here's the grotesque irony. Widowhood is freedom. As a widow, a femme's soul, you exist again. You can sign contracts, control your property, make your own will. The law that erased you at 19 restores you at 42, but only because the man who owned you is dead. You didn't earn this freedom. You survived into it. Lady Pemberton writes excitedly about the Married Women's Property Act working through Parliament. Married women might soon keep their own earnings. You're happy for the next generation, truly, but the bitterness sits in your chest like a second corset. All those years of legal invisibility, and the fix arrives 1 decade too late. Your lungs carry traces of arsenic from 30 years of green rooms. Your ribs sit at angles God never intended, shaped by steel and whalebone since you were 10. Your blood carries laudanum's fingerprint. The dependency quieter now, but never fully gone. You are the most well-preserved ruin in England. William brings his daughter to visit. She's 7. She sits up straight without being told. Someone's already training her. You watch her balance a book on her head at the dinner table, spine rigid, chin lifted, and you think, I should tell her. Tell her what this costs, what it takes, what it leaves behind. You pour the tea instead. You had everything a woman could want, except a name the law recognized, a body the doctors didn't poison, and a single day that belonged to you. In 1882, the Married Women's Property Act finally granted British wives the right to own, buy, and sell property independently of their husbands. It took 45 years of campaigning. If you want to see what happened when society actually built women for strength instead of compliance, watch Your Life as a Spartan Mother next.